Yes. Okay, so there is a small issue with the camera. That's why we are around 3 minutes late. But yes, we shall take care of it after the live. So for today's live, you will be only hearing my voice directly. You will not be able to see me, right? So yes, sorry about that. But yes, we shall start in another 5 to 30 to 60 seconds, right? So yes, welcome back to another live. So for those of you who are joining for the first time, what we try and do here is we try to analyze the markets based on chart reading, based on OI data, and we also try to look at OI, PCR data, the option chain, and much more, right? So this is the basic analysis we try to do. We try to understand what happened in today's market, and also try and understand what could happen tomorrow, right? So yes, so you can. So what we do this, we come live every day at 3:45 p.m. and this we do it on daily basis, right? So Monday to Friday at 3:45, you can make sure to catch us live over here, and also so we it is mainly for. Uh, what do you call market analysis purposes. So yes, and we always keep this interactive as well, so anyone commenting in the live or anything like that, we make sure to discuss that particular stock or market or anything like that, right? So yes, for those of you who do keep joining, welcome back. And yes, also uh, if my by any chance my audio is not heard, you can always let me know in the comments. But yes, for now, as I explained, my video will not be seen for today's live. And right before we start, quick disclaimer that this is purely for educational purpose. We do not provide any calls or tips, and make sure to consult your financial advisor, right? So anytime if you did not hear that, make sure to look at the sliding banner at the bottom of your screen. So yes, so yeah, we should quickly get into the markets now. Very interesting, right? So markets have gotten very interesting finally, and as we did understand that today there would be a downfall, and there was, right? So we also saw Nifty going below 18,200, which was a very good support level, right? So we shall try and analyze if it could go more further down, or what is actually happening to the markets, right? So we usually do not see any news over here. So quickly going into the Nifty charts, right? So before we go into the futures chart, I would quickly like to see it in a broader time frame, right? So quickly just going into the 1 hour, we would get a better idea on how the market is looking, right? Because we saw a very good bull run until now. I think 18,000. So after our OI analysis today, we can see if 18,500 would be a very good sell, right? Because as we saw from yesterday, and we did expect markets to completely fall today as well. But yes, overall, you see that the bull run is slowly coming into a more settling more sideways, right? So we saw it almost touching 18,500, did not cross it, at least in the Nifty spot, but um, now has come down to almost 18,197, right? So we were still bullish that it could reach all-time highs, but let's see, right? So yes, so for those of you who want to understand how we thought that the market could fall today, can check out yesterday's videos where we did expect markets to fall today, and it did, right? So quickly going into the futures chart, because we usually analyze on the futures charts. Yes, so you can also always let me know in the comments below if you guys have taken any trade, if you are carrying over any trade, and also try and provide based on what, right? So that we can understand, okay, if it is the right way to think or not as well. So yes, quickly coming into today's charts, right? So in the 5 minutes charts, yes. So I don't think today had a gap up or gap down opening, if I'm not wrong. Yes. Yes, so this was our opening, right? So as we saw, yesterday's close was very close to 18,300, and we did try to see that if it fell below, more below than 18,300, we would be again, it would be a much more confirmation on the falling of the market, right? So I think beginning in the morning around 10:20 itself, we saw a huge red candle being formed below 18,300, and this kind of acted as our point of interest, right? So it the market never came back, but yes, I think this uh, literally went to a waste, because usually if it did touch this POI, it would be a good trade for the downwards itself, right? But again, it's depending on your indicators, depending on where the VWAP was. So the fact that it did not come back here, there wasn't a trade, right? So you look at it, it was a steep fall from 10:20 to around 12 o'clock, almost 2 hours. The market just kept falling, right? And these are almost wild falls. Every 5 minutes was a red candle, right? So any sell at any 5 minute level would basically made you money. So if anyone did make any money in today's um complete downfall, you can always let me know in the comments. But yes, we saw a good support being taken at 18,160. Let me just mark that. So this is completely on price action, right? This level that we have drawn here. Yes. Yes. Okay, that's 18,160 itself. But yeah, we saw a complete oversell range here, and almost towards the end, that is from 2 to 3:30, we saw it go back towards its average prices, right? So this is what is making it very interesting, because 18,200 also was a very good support, which it has broken today, right? Which it broke around 1150. So this again gives us a very bearish sentiment directly based on chart reading, right? You see a huge volume here at 11.5 for a mini buy, but then yes, I think the highest volume was at 11.5, which where there were buyers, but then it did not matter, right? So this almost would have been one more point of interest, but again, it did not reach this range ever again. So yes, so that's the thing. So market ended at 18,231, which is interesting again, because it fell below 200 and went back, but it still looks very bearish, right? Because if you look at the way the market has fallen today, there's a slight recovery towards the end, but yes, the sentiment, at least from the charts, is still telling us a little more bearish on the markets because of the levels being broken. And these, I think, 18,300 and 18,200 are two levels that we plotted a few days before based on OI, right? So there must have been a lot of sell-off at these levels, at least on the uh, put side, right? So yes, so this is the charts. This the last line again was it was just a trend line based on price action. It was continuously taking support from this line, so this was what was drawn, right? But yes, so quickly coming into our OI analysis, right, and option chain. So we'll quickly go into, yes, Nifty 50 option chain. So PCR 0.6, I think yesterday's PCR was 0.7, and it's again fallen down to 0.6, still giving us a very bearish signal, and also it seems to be a little over bearish, right? So that because it's usually one is the range where you would tell market is almost sideways to bullish, right? Whereas 1.5 would be a very bullish level in terms of, okay, is this over bought area? Similarly, now PCR, because it's around zero point 0.5, is it at an oversold area? But right, but directly in terms of 0.6 being there, it is still in a very bearish sign itself, right? So yes, coming to P. So this side should have been a lot more reduced because we saw, yes, 18,200. There had to be a sell off because it did break that level, right? So there would have a lot of sellers uh, put sellers at 18,200. Obviously, looking at the markets go down and at like these were wild movements as well, right? We saw almost for 2 hours every 5 minutes the candles uh, were completely red, and hence why there is a lot of sell off at 18,200, and there's quite the addition at 18,100 and 18,000, right? So 18,000 should be our current support, where below which it would be even more massive downfall, right? So if you look at it, I think we have around, yes, um, 89 lakh, and there's been an addition of almost 30 lakh at 18,000, right? So this would act as our support. Whereas you look at the call OI, this should have increased massively. Yes. So if you look at it, there's been an addition, 50 lakh OI addition at 18,250, 50 lakh at 18,300, almost 20 lakh at 18,350, right? So these are so why this has been added here is because of the complete bearish outlook on the market, and all these OI sellers are much more sorry, they're much more confident that it would not go back above 18,300 and above, at least in a very confident stage, right? That is until tomorrow. So tomorrow is the expiry as well. Very exciting. So you can let me know in the comments where you think we would expire tomorrow. So make sure of that. At least by OI, we're looking at 18,300 and below, surely, because we see 1.4 1 crore at 18,350 and around 1.4 crore at 18,400, right? So we're looking at least from the OI signs and where the people are selling at, these are the levels below which it should most probably end, right? So that is the outlook there, and we saw that support was at 18,000. So yes, that's what we get from the auction chain directly. Look at OI again. Yes, this should be 18,400. So we see a huge increase, right? You look at it, 18,300, 18,350, 18,400. There's very high call sells here because people are confident that it would end below this level, right? And you look at it, the highest addition today was at 18,200 calls, right? So I think 83.3 lakh. Wow. Okay. Let me just quickly look at the auction chain. Yes. So around 525 percent increase at 18,200 level, right? So the again here, if you look at it at 18,300, that is at the money. Right now, there is more call sellers which are again trying to tell that it would end below 18,200 tomorrow, right? So I think the live price is 18,196 at least in the Nifty 50 spot. But yes, that's what it says, right? So the highest increase was at 18,200, 18,250, and 300 also. There are increases, right? And if you see in total, we see a lot of put OI also at 18,300 being sold off. So this is because again people are not confident that it would come back up, right? So that is the whole idea here, and we look at it. So this is again. So in general, it would be in terms of full day, right? So you also have your last 30 minutes, which would so yeah, usually towards the end of the day, you would see a lot of people selling off their positions, right? And that's why, what do you call? You can see this here. So last 30 minutes is nothing but 3 to 3:30, where you see a lot of at the end of the market, you see a lot of sell off happening. So you saw a lot more. So almost 2.3 calls were sold off, whereas only 85.4 lakhs puts were sold off, right? So last 1 hour also similar. There are a lot more calls which were sold off at that particular levels. So yeah, open interest. Yeah, as we said, these were levels, and yes. So outlook is at least for Nifty. We are looking at it. Charts again because it broke very good levels of 18,300 and 200. I think there would have been a lot of people who would have gone into loss who were bullish on the markets for at least the last 2 days. So, but then looking at PCR at zero point 0.6, and I'm just assuming is it? I'm just guessing if it's in a very oversold range, right? So that is something interesting. We will be able to see tomorrow. But yes, a very interesting expiry, and yes, we should quickly go to Bank Nifty, right? Coming into Bank Nifty futures. Yes. So Bank Nifty is something I didn't get uh, time to analyze during the live market hours, right? So Nifty was something I was looking at. Yes, let me just mark this levels quickly. Price levels here, 43,700, and it almost 43,500 is what it took support out of, at least here, and we went back up, right? So 43,500. 43,700 was one more of our levels, which um, we knew that if it did break that, we could head much lower, right? And yes, I think there was no, so similar to Nifty, there's no gap up or gap down, at least in uh, Bank Nifty. And I think you look at it very similar, right? So we saw Nifty also at towards the end taking a very good support and going back towards VWAP because again it seemed like it was the markets were very oversold, right? And you look at it at these ranges, these are very far from VWAP also. I think it should be at the outer areas of Bollinger Bands. Yes, so it usually comes back towards the average prices, right? So if it's towards the outer edges of the Bollinger Bands. So that's how you know if it is oversold or overbought. But yes, you look at it here, 43,500 is where it took support out of, and I think so from around 140, right? So 140 to towards the end 330, it gained back around 200 points, right? Which is a very good sign towards the end. And Nifty also, you look at it, it came back to at least a certain level, right? So yes. So tomorrow would be very interesting. 44,000, 43,700, 43,500, right? So these were the levels that were marked before. So quickly coming into the analysis, let me just save this. Yes, we would exactly know where the sell-offs have happened, right? So yes. So for those of you who haven't seen the new update of our analysis section. And if you would like to watch a small video on how to use it in the best way possible, you can watch it here, right? There's an option called See How Menu Works, and you can understand how the entire analysis menu would work, right? So yes, you look at it here again. Yeah. So our levels do stand. So this is completely based on OI itself. So PCR around zero point 0.8. Let me just shifted to yesterday and let's see the change, right? Yeah, PCR 1 to it moved from 1.8 again. PCR showing a little more bearish trend on the market, 44,000, which is our resistance, which is very high, right? So upward wise, again, there is no, you look at it here, 43,900, 44,000, 44,100. These levels at least on yes, okay. For suddenly, I thought it was some other instrument, but yeah, you look at it here. 44,000 still acts as our first resistance, at least out of if it breaks out of which we would be a little more confident that it could go much higher, right? So, but again, very little addition in Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty at least doesn't give us a clear signal like Nifty, where Nifty there was huge what do you call additions in the call side, right? So there was huge OI addition in the call side, which gave us a very clear picture that okay, people are still on the downfall of the market, at least in Nifty, but Bank Nifty giving us less hints of the same, because if you look at it, the only change is around 16 lakhs at 43,900, 6 lakh at 44,000. And you look at the put side as well, it's almost around the same, right? There isn't a very big sell off at any level there, right? So Bank Nifty is giving a little mixed signals, which says that tomorrow Bank Nifty at least looks like it could be in a very sideways trend, right? So I think you would have to be a little more careful on tomorrow's expiry for Bank Nifty, at least because I'm guessing it would catch both sides, both sellers, both buyers at the call side or the put side, right? So as soon as you see it going down, at least with 100% confirmation, I wouldn't tell you to go completely short on the market, because uh, you look at it here, there are OI on both sides, right? So unless based on tomorrow's live OI change, you cannot tell if it is going up or down, right? So right now we're looking at Bank Nifty at a very sideways level. So let's see how the expiry does turn out, right? So if it stays sideways, then it would be a very boring market for the buyers, but sellers would benefit a lot, right? But Nifty on the other hand did give a more clearer picture on the downside. So yes, that is our analysis for tomorrow. And as usual, thank you so much for joining in. And we do this on daily basis, and we love to do this, right? So so make sure you like and hit the subscribe button so that many more traders can join us, and we can have many more discussions such as this, right? So, in as usual, this is completely for educational purposes. Make sure you consult your financial advisor before you take any trade, right? Because we do not provide any calls or tips, right? So, thank you once again for joining in. Tomorrow, make sure to get your friends over as well, and we can surely see how the expiry would go, right? So, yes, until tomorrow, thank you so much, and yes.